Hello, welcome to Late Night Stocks. Today I will update you on Affirm and PayPal stock. My last video was 1.5 months ago. A lot of things happened since then. At that time Affirm was $125 and I warned the investors that Affirm can drop to $85. Now we are below 85. Now people are asking for this buy now pay later company. If I buy now, will it pay off later? PayPal stock was $186 when I shoot this video. Now it is consolidating around $170-$180. What is next? Should we buy Affirm or PayPal stock in 2022? Let's start with Affirm stock. Affirm stock is now at below $80 with $22 billion market cap. Since November 1st, less than 2 months, Affirm dropped more than 50%. What is the reason behind this movement? Magic began to fade for all fintech stocks with premium valuations after the Federal Reserve sped up the tapering. This indicates that Fed may raise interest rates multiple times this year. In addition to that, there has been growing concerns in the buy now pay later space about credit quality. As of September, more than 33% of consumers who have tried buy now pay later missing at least one payment. Consumers missing the payments is not a good sign for Affirm company. Let's check their latest earnings so that we can make better fact-based analysis. Here you see the total transaction volume quarterly on the Affirm platform over the time. First, I need to mention that fiscal year Q1 means Q3 for us. Growth in transaction volume looks impressive. When we look at the Q3 2020 last year, their volume was $1.4 billion. Compared to last year, Affirm grew their total transaction volume by 138% year over year, and they have reached $2.7 billion. But do we observe the same growth in revenue? Unfortunately not. Last year in Q3 2020 they have made $174 million revenue. When we look at the revenue in Q3 2021, they had a 55% growth year over year and they have reached $270 million revenue. As you can understand from this yellow line, they started to generate less revenue from larger transaction volumes. In addition to that, quarter over quarter growth worries investors. Although they have spent a lot of money on sales and marketing, they couldn't generate enough revenue. Here I want to show you quickly their sales and marketing expenses over the time. Last year, Affirm company have spent $22 million on sales and marketing, and now they are spending $63 million quarterly. More than 25% of the revenue goes to marketing. When we look at their Q4 2021 guidance, they are expecting around $3.6 billion transaction volume. Compared to $2.7 billion transaction volume last quarter, it looks really impressive. In revenue-wise, they are expecting $325 million. As I just said, in the last quarter they have made $270 million. With $320 million revenue, they can be back on track. When I look at the big picture yearly revenues, we are expecting $2.7 billion revenue in 2024. However, you should note that we are not expecting profitability until 2025. So in general, growth is there, but profitability concerns me. Fed will increase the rates faster, and more than 33% of the customers are missing at least one payment. Affirm's cash balance is not that good, and they will have at least 2 years negative cash flow. So you need to consider these downsides before you buy this stock. When we look at the price targets for Affirm, for example, Morgan Stanley has $185 price target. If you look at the latest updates, it is around $130-$140. Affirm stock made its IPO at $90 and now we are below that. When the company first announced their partnership with Amazon, the stock price was $70. After that, we had a huge hype and then stock price have reached to even $170. After Q3 earnings with Fed's announcements, we had a huge sell-off more than 50% and now we are at $80. Is it now buy the dip opportunity? Yes, it may be the dip, but we cannot know for sure. If you are bullish on Affirm stock, you can start it to buy under $80 in small portions. If you ask me, I would say there is no hurry. I would wait a little bit, see the consolidation, then buy. I'm not an investment advisor, please make your own decision. $55 stock price remains as a possibility, so Q4 earnings will be decisive. What do you think about Affirm stock? Will it go further down? If you liked my analysis, please give a thumbs up and write some comments. Let's continue with PayPal stock. PayPal stock is now at $187 and $220 billion market cap. After the rumors about Snapchat accusations and missing earnings, stock price dropped massively. Is PayPal poised for a bull run in 2022? Last year was not a good one for PayPal Holdings thanks to consecutive revenue misses in the second and third quarters. The payments company has seen its share price fall more than 19% in the past year. With people largely stuck at home and shopping online, the pandemic was a boom for PayPal. Let's check their last Q3 earnings and understand the situation better. In the last quarter, they had $6.18 billion revenue, which is a drop compared to last quarter. Due to pandemic, they had 25-30% year-over-year growth, but now it is 13%. 2020 was a boom year for PayPal, and 13% is not bad in my opinion. When we look at their total payment volume, it was $310 billion in the last quarter, which stands for 26% year over year. This is a huge growth. They are even beating the numbers in 2020. This shows the success of their business model. Similarly, number of active accounts are also increasing. In the last quarter, they added 13 million users in their system. This cumulative growth makes them really powerful in their market. They are not only increasing their number of customers, but they are also increasing their customer engagement. In average, each customer makes 44 transactions in a year. The more transactions they have, the more revenue they can generate. When we look at the growth expectations in revenue and profitability, looks like this growth continues. In 2023, we are expecting $36 billion revenue and $5.7 billion profit. Let's calculate their forward PE ratio together. $220 billion market cap divided by $5.7 billion profit, it makes 38.6 forward PE, which is not that high for this kind of a growth. Venmo and Amazon partnership can be a good catalyst in 2022. With this agreement, PayPal company will increase their active accounts and total transaction volumes significantly in 2022. The general investor sentiment is that this pandemic winner won't do so well when things slowly normalize and in-person shopping rebound. PayPal stock skyrocketed 117% in 2020 and they dropped 19% in 2021, so this year can be a positive one. When we look at the analyst price targets, as you see, it was around $260 previously, now it is around $225. If we look at the stock price, we can easily see the effects of the missing revenues in Q2 and Q3. Looks like $180 was the dip. Now we are making higher lows and we are in this bullish trend. Critical part is $200, which is also same as 50 days average. If we see daily closures above $200, then we can easily go to $220 next. If you ask me which one should I buy, PayPal or Affirm, I would choose PayPal over Affirm from risk-reward point of view. What do you think about PayPal stock? Would you buy Affirm or PayPal? Please let me know in the comments down below and don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.